Welcome one, welcome all to another week of the GT3 Challenge Series, and we are at Oran Park, and yeah, this is going to be pretty similar, I think, to VAR, Virginia. It's a bit of a roller coaster, I have to say. It's fantastic to hot lap. I think the racing will be pretty much single file, but a lot of places where mistakes can be made. So I would say bide your time, be patient. Put the car in front under a bit of pressure, and they're probably going to fall off the track at some point because this track there's cambers all over the place, and it's vicious, absolutely vicious. But we've got a lap. We've got a lap together. We've got a 103.8. Should be pretty competitive, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, coming down into the first corner now. Even this first corner is not very straightforward, and the first part of this lap is the more straightforward part, but we're gonna hold fifth, okay, and we have to try and turn it into the corner and brake and turn and then brake again. So it's all about modulating your braking and your steering here, because if you got your steering on too much and you brake too much, yeah, the car's gonna go around here, okay. So we kind of point the car in. We're still on full throttle at the minute. Okay, we're pointing the car at the apex, and then we're braking. Okay, and we're braking just a little bit to start with. Okay, because the car's under quite a bit of load. Okay, the front tires are loaded up at this point. Okay, so we're turning and we're gradually just braking more as the steering's coming off. So braking more, down a few gears, steering goes straight. Okay, and we just brake. Okay, so you can't really brake more than like 55% here. Okay, you could, in theory, brake a bit less and then try and straighten the car more, but I find this is a nice smooth approach to set you up nicely for turn 2. Okay, so we're hitting the apex. We're trying to hit the apex. Yep, there we go. And we're back on throttle nice and early. Okay, so before the apex, we're on the throttle. Okay, that's always good practice if you can do that. Okay, that corner was second gear. Got up 2 gears, and now we're down to second again, okay? We have a lovely little brake marker right here, which is perfect, but we brake a little bit before it, okay? But that's what we're looking at here, okay? So just before it, brake up to about 75%, down in second gear again, and again, we're hooking up this curve, and these curves are quite nice in a way. They let you know where you are. You know what I mean? If you take a bit too much, you're going to know about it, okay? So again, on throttle, nice and early. And that is the easy part of this track. The rest of it is just a crazy roller coaster ride. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so there's kind of like a bit of a crest here, but there's not really much of a braking point, and that's a very common theme with this track. Okay, it's not a traditional like Silverstone or a Monza where you get all the brake markers and everything. This is like some sort of rallycross stage, but on tarmac. Okay, so you've got this big bump up here, so we've got to make sure we're braking before that, but we're braking quite a long way before it. Okay, down to second gear, and then so we come up the hill, and then we're coming sort of down the other side, and the camber kind of comes off and then comes back on. So I mean, caution's probably the watchword here. It's so easy to take too much speed in. Okay, so I've hooked up the apex here, which is probably about right, and as you see, we're now going uphill and off camber. So you probably think like you should better carry more speed than you actually can through here. Okay, so this is probably about right. Really, this is one of the best times I did it, and we don't run the car right out wide. We really just don't have to here. Okay, it just takes too much out. You've almost got like another apex here, but I don't like getting too close to this one because there is a hell of a lot of camber, and it's very downhill, uphill, and just sends the car all over the place. So we don't hit that apex, but we're kind of hitting the middle of the road. Okay, here's another just nuts corner. You just don't get anywhere else. I mean, we're going over a bridge. You know what I mean? It feels like the top of the car might actually hit the bridge if you took too much air. So we're coming up. Okay, gearing wise, okay, we're still in third here. Okay, and it's sort of just before you get to the top is where you need to brake. Okay, if you wait till you get to the top, then you're not going to stop in time. Okay, but we can't brake too hard. It has to be very minimal brake pressure. Okay, So just shaving off a tiny bit of speed, feel the speed. Now, if you're anything like me, the first few laps you do this, you will just take way too much speed through here and be off on the grass, okay? It just feels like the sort of corner where you can take more than you actually can, okay? So we're back on throttle, but certainly not full throttle, okay? So we're just feeling it, and then we get on it once we know we're okay. Now, here's a very dangerous bit of the track, okay? You cannot run your wheels anywhere near here, okay? This is as much as I would do it, okay? The amount of times I spun the car, honestly, it was a joke, okay? Just dip in the wheel and turn in, boom, car goes round, okay? And this was the one bit of this lap where I could have done slightly better, okay? So I braked a little bit too late here, okay? You see the curb here, you could need to brake a little bit before it, really. This is too late, okay? So I've gone down, you go down to third gear, and you can take a lot more of this, okay? So that probably cost me about 2/10. So the lap would have been absolutely steady if I'd have nailed that. But, I mean, trying to nail a full lap around here, it's pretty tricky, I'll be honest. You know, like, really on it. It's, you know, I mean, as I've said before, I'm not a pro. You know what I mean? I'm 4K I-rated. I do very well in this series. But I'm not a super alien, so I can't just churn out, like, ridiculous laps every single time, okay? But this is a good lap, you know. Right, so we're in third gear. As I say, you can take a bit more than this, okay? And full throttle round, up to fourth, okay? And then we're braking before the curb. Again, there's no real good braking mark here. You do it on feel, okay? So, again, we're down into third gear. And we do take some of this, okay? We can't take too much, okay? This is probably about perfect, okay? Yeah, you don't want to be taking the grass, all right? And the rear will get a little bit loose here, okay? See, that is a big correction. The steering wheel is pointing in the wrong way, which is never good on a left-hander turning right, but hell, it is what it is, okay? Try to run it out too wide here, okay? Because you do need to get back over to the left-hand side of the track for the next corner, okay? So, again, this is fine. We don't need to be, like, stupid over. This next corner, in a race, I would 100% lift at some point in this corner, okay? In quali, you can probably do it flat, but you're risking quite a lot. Now, what we've got is a right-left, and the left is completely blind. Like, you cannot see it. So you just turn in, and you have to hope that it's there, okay? And it's done on practice and feel. There's no other way to do this corner, okay? You just turn it in, and then you just turn when you feel it's right, okay? And it's just a confidence corner. It's just doing the laps corner. There's nothing particularly, there's no trick to it, okay? But this corner is potentially flat, okay? Do I do it flat this lap? Let's have a look. Tiny lift. I mean, you know, it doesn't cost any time, okay? So we turn it in, definitely flat here. And then you might decide you just want to give yourself a little lift just to make sure you can get it in, because you're coming through, and then it's only at this point you actually see the curb, by which time you've already turned in, okay? You kind of hit the curb, come up, and then we turn in, okay? And we can take quite a lot of this. Yeah, that is perfect. Yeah. And then the reason why we might want to lift is because you could run wide on exit, okay? Now you can go up to fifth, or you can hold fourth. Either one's probably all right. If you're not taking, like, full throttle through there, then you can probably hold fourth, okay? As we're going down the hill, again, no brake marker. Okay, so, again, just done on feel, okay? And we're going downhill, so you probably have to brake a little bit earlier than what you think, okay? So, braking there, quite hard. Down in second gear. I experimented with third, but I just think second's probably slightly better, okay? We're training, and we're getting on nice and early. This is like one of the longest straight bits, okay? So, got to make sure we're on nice and early before the apex. Okay, turning in. And you can get quite wide in almost like brush the wall, but the rear here starts to get very sketchy, okay? As we see, it's slightly off camber. You can see that here's the top of the road, and here's the bottom of the road, and you see it definitely is off camber. So the rear is more sketchy than normal, okay? So I run it out to about there, but I mean, I did brush the wall a few times, and it's a bit pointless, but you know, this line isn't an off-track line, you can get much wider, okay? But, you know, that's the lap. I mean, it's a short lap, but it's an absolute roller coaster of a track, and it's very interesting. I'd say you often get your best lap on lap 2, okay? But it is like a confidence track where you just build your confidence over time. First lap tyres will still be pretty cold, I think, in qualifying, and it's probably the sort of track you really want to get a banker in, okay? So my advice would be first lap, get the banker in, try not to slide the tyres too much. Once you've got that banker in, you can kind of attack it on the second lap and hopefully get a decent time. Yeah, racing this week will be interesting. Hopefully people around you are respectful and don't make stupid dives. I did a touring car race here once and that did not happen. There were lots of dives and a lot of people died, okay? It might be the same this week. I can't, no promises, okay? So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like and subscribe and share and all that sort of stuff. Views have been a bit down recently. I think just as the weeks go on, you know, people do tend to lose interest in the series a bit. You know, the first few weeks, everyone's like proper pumped up for the series, and then, you know, you see participation drop a bit. But yeah, if there's anything else you want to see or any other track guides you'd like, then let me know, because next season I will be looking to expand the number of track guides I do. This was like a pilot series, if you like. I will do the GT3s again. I'm looking at maybe doing like the Formula Fords or the Formula Vs, something along those lines. They're a very popular series. Also do a bit of GT4, so that might be an option. But yeah, just let me know. Okay, guys, enjoy this week. It could be interesting, but you might get a really good result. So good luck.